Wayne Bennett has sensationally dropped Anthony Milford in favour of 19-year-old half Isaiah Katoa. Dolphins skipper Jesse Bromwich addressed the decision earlier today, calling on Milford to support the team playmaker and get his own game back on track.
For me, it just says that one's had a better pre-season than the other. So a lot of the selections come down to who's showing what they got over pre-season, and I'd love to see him, fight for the jumper and fight for a spot. Yeah, I'd just love to see him really turn up to training with a really good attitude, an attitude to help the young guy out. I guess that's why we're all here. Us experienced guys, we're all here to start this club off the right way, and for me, that's the right way. So I'd love to see Milf do that as well.
Yeah, pretty critical there, the captain of the Dolphins, Bromwich. Really, I suppose, putting a rocket up Milford. It's clear, I mean, indirectly, but quite clear to us that Milford hasn't come back the way they've wanted. He hasn't trained the way that they've wanted him to. He's not in the right condition to play round one, I would say, both mentally and physically. Great leadership from Bromwich. I love how strong he was, but it's a concern for the Dolphins and for Milford, right?
That's Blake that spent his life playing in the Melbourne Storm system, who knows what it takes to succeed, and he's obviously watched Milford over the summer and formed an opinion he probably didn't train hard enough. And anyone that watched the Dolphins trial against the Titans last week or the week before, you watched that game, you knew that Bennett had no alternative but to drop Milford. He was shocking, he was disinterested, and the fans of the Dolphins, the new fans that have come to the game, they deserve the opportunity to follow the future, not the past.
Well, the whisper was that Milford hasn't come through the off-season in peak condition, which was discussing it today, weren't we, both? Like, you've just come through a full off-season, pre-season campaign, and there's a bit of a sideward glance that you're probably not fit enough. That's a concern. I think,
Well, how do you go to a new franchise and you train the whole pre-season with top-class trainers for a new club? You get tested with your skin folds with your weight, you get your speed, you get your agility, you get your fitness. By the time you play round one, you should be in peak condition. Is there any excuse to not being in peak condition?
No, there's no excuse.
But is that just Milford's fault?
Well, yeah, look, it's mostly Milford's fault. Okay. Clearly there's people watching him, but clearly, I can't imagine Wayne Bennett has left it till this week to give Anthony Milford a kick up the bum. I'm sure there's been reminders throughout training, mate, you need to start picking it up a bit, and he clearly hasn't got there.
Well, Wayne Bennett has doubled down on those comments from Captain Bromwich, and he's been very stern. We've got breaking news here, Bennett on Milford. The reality is, where does Anthony want to be in 12 months' time? Does he want to be back on the top of his game or in and out of the team like a yo-yo? Time is running out, but Anthony still has time. He has to make a decision whether he's really committed to getting better or is happy to just doing what he's doing and just cruising through life. Now, that's...
Well, Bennett's told Peter Bedell that today, so that's in tomorrow's Courier Mail, and so Bennett's quite happy to go on the record, which is very unusual for Wayne. And when Wayne goes on the record like that in such a public manner, it's with a clear intent.
There seems to be a consistent messaging here, given that Bromwich's tone is very similar to the way Wayne is speaking, which says to me it's a statement about what they want the Dolphins to start their foundation to be. This is their inaugural game. And it looks like a statement to every other player within the group that this is the standard.
Yeah, I get that, right? And I love it.
But it's a kick in the backside for Milford.
Well, he might just be the whipping boy to make the statement.
But who brought Milford to the club?
That's exactly. Not only that.
And what was Milford known for the last few years?
What, being lazy?
Underperforming, being lazy.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden it's a big shock. Here we are round one.
I don't think it is a shock because he's just said there, he hasn't given up on him.
Yeah.
He said he's got to pull his socks up. And Braith, honest to God, if you watched the Dolphins in that trial the other day, there wasn't a decision to be made. The kid had to get the jumper. But you couldn't have run him out and played him.
The worry for the Dolphins is Milford was an early signing. He actually sat there his last year and Bennett said, look, sit there, we'll take it year one of the Dolphins. So he always knew he was one of the early signings at the Dolphins. The club clearly had big plans for him. through his own poor performance at training, he's failed to make the side for the run-on for the first game. It is a kick in the backside
It's a
for
clear
Milford.
move from Wayne again, though. You know, they're setting the tone, like you said.
Yeah,
they're setting the culture. They're setting the standards.
But where does this leave Milford? Where does this leave Milford as a player who, when he was 17 and 18 coming through at the Raiders, was regarded as one of the great talents in the game and has failed to really get to where he has? And the one excuse I don't think you can really offer anymore as a professional football player is that you're just not fit enough. You've got everybody around you. You've got experts in your diet, your training, in every facet of your preparation. You've got experts there to help you. And if you cannot get there, then it all falls on you. And that's what Wayne's message today seems to be. Mate, you have to make your choice because you've got all the help here.
Yeah.
It's now up to you to decide whether you want to be a footballer or whether you want to be up and down and in and out and coast along like you have for the past, I would say, for the past 6-7 years.
I'd say
to be
it's too
fair.
late.
He's had a couple of years.
I think it's too late.
I agree with you, Dave.
Yeah.
I really do agree with you. I think he's had a reputation as a comfortable player. Yeah, he likes to sit within his comfort zone for most of his career. And everybody has been really waiting for the day Milford takes off. And here he is again. This is almost last straw stuff because if he doesn't respond to Bennett's challenge to him, he's got nowhere to go.
Well, the flip side of that is that the Dolphins go out in their first game in the NRL with a 19-year-old, untried 5'8", up against the Sydney Roosters. Like, that's throwing a kid to the wolves.
Clearly talented, though. And
Clearly talented.
But this could be the making of the kid, too. And this could be, we
the
could look back
future.
at
Well,
10
This
years'
is
time.
his opportunity. But they're going to have to rally around this kid too. And you would imagine they will lift because of it. Like every player around him will have to
He's
lift.
under no pressure. He's the market he's signing for the club's future. He's under no pressure. Wayne would say, just go out there and do your job.
I think he's got nothing to lose too.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, if he plays great, awesome. If he struggles in his first game, well, up against the Roosters game one, called in late because Milford gets ruled out or pushed out of the team. I don't think there's a huge expectation for Katoa. I'm excited to watch him play. I can't wait to watch him play, and I think he'll go close to the Rookie of the Year when he gets his chance. If he continues to get it, he's a sensation.
He's that good, Brave.
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year.
The thing about Bennett too, he'll stick with him. He'll stick with him for at least a month. Every time he brings someone up, he keeps him in his team.
Yeah, the disappointing thing with Milford, I just think, I think it's selfish. I think when you're at a new club, you're one of the main signings, you're a key playmaker, and you turn up and you're out of shape. You're letting down the team. You're letting down your teammates.
Yeah,
and that's
Bromwich showed that.
yeah.
Bromwich
It's an odd signing to start a franchise, to be fair. For everything we've discussed about Anthony's career, failing to live up to its potential, when you are starting a foundation club, you look at their key signings, the Bromwiches, Mark Nichols, a hard-working South front rower, Kafusi, as you said, some young talent based on who work hard. Anthony doesn't fit that mould.